The movie begins in an eerie antique shop where a terrified man named Petey Shelburne enters with a drum-playing monkey doll. He has blood on his clothes, but when the shopkeeper asks about it, Pete claims it's not his blood. He states that he came to return the monkey doll, but the shopkeeper points out a sign that says no returns on children's toys. Pete explains that it's not a toy and that something terrible happens when it bangs its drum, and then suddenly the monkey activates and begins playing its drum, terrifying both of them. It soon stops and nothing happens for a few seconds, but then a nearby mouse bites through a wire. The gun goes off and impales the shopkeeper. The harpoon then retracts and his fucking intestines are gruesomely pulled out. Terrified, Petey then grabs a flamethrower and desperately tries to burn the cursed doll. In the next scene, we meet twin brothers, Bill and Hall, who clearly don't have a good relationship. Hall narrates that Bill is the older brother by 3 minutes, so he constantly belittles and bullies him at every opportunity. They live with their single mother, Lois, since their dad abandoned them a long time ago for an unknown reason. One day, the boys begin digging through their dad's possessions, and we see Pete's uniform, implying that he's their dad. They also find a mysterious box which has the same cursed monkey doll. Hall notices a note instructing them to turn on the key and see what happens. So Bill wastes no time in turning the key. This causes the monkey to grin creepily and raise the drumstick, but it doesn't strike the drum. The next day, Mom sends them out with a nanny to eat at a restaurant, as she has a date that night. But Hall notices the creepy monkey already sitting in the back seat of the car. The trio soon arrives at a hibachi restaurant where the chef starts preparing a meal right in front of them, exciting them. Outside, we notice that the monkey has moved from the back seat to the front seat. Surprisingly, it activates and begins to play its drum before abruptly stopping. Meanwhile, inside the restaurant, the cook is swinging his knife, but he accidentally strikes the nanny as her head is decapitated, leaving everyone horrified. The scene then cuts to the nanny's funeral, and we hear Hall narrating this incident and that it made him and his brother grow more apart. Afterward, their mother tries to make them understand that this is life, and at any moment, everything could go to hell. She also says that everyone will die sooner or later. To lift the mood, the three return home and begin dancing. Hall then explains that despite the tragedy, it was the happiest day of his life. Days later, Hall is in his class when he unexpectedly notices the monkey in his backpack. His classmates notice it as well and complain to the teacher that Hall is doing crazy things with his monkey. Later, during gym class, a group of bullies led by Bill begin smashing bananas at Hall and ridiculing him. However, when a furious Hall returns home, he finds the monkey unexpectedly in his bed. He accuses the doll of causing all of this and declares that he hates his brother, Bill. Overcome with anger, he wishes Bill were dead and turns the key of the doll. At the same time, Bill arrives home as the monkey starts pounding its drum. Bill then finds his mom baking in the kitchen, but blood unexpectedly gushes from her face before she collapses dead on the floor. Later, adult Hall narrates that the doctor called it a boomerang aneurysm, a phenomenon that occurs in 1 out of 44 million people. But Hal knows the truth. She died because the cursed monkey kills anyone at once. It also doesn't take requests. After Lois's funeral, the kids are adopted by their Aunt Ida and Uncle Chip, who try their best to cheer them up that night. After some thought, Hal decides he must get rid of the doll. He begins butchering it and is horrified to see blood oozing out of it, but Hal doesn't stop. He continues slashing at it, relentlessly breaking it into pieces. He finally shoves the remains into a garbage bag and ensures every piece is hauled away by the garbage truck. The next day, Uncle Chip and Ida decide to take the boys to their new house. But that night, Bill notices something outside the window and goes to investigate it. He is astounded to discover that the creepy monkey has somehow made its way. Bill accuses Hal of bringing it, but Hal denies it and explains how he chopped it into pieces. He states that the doll is cursed and is responsible for their nanny's and mother's deaths. Upon hearing this, Bill wonders if the curse kills the person who turns the key, and perhaps their mother did just that. He decides to turn the key despite warning him not to do it. As a result, they lose their uncle, who was out hunting in the woods and was trampled by 67 horses while he was in his sleeping bag. Following the incident, the twins finally realize the monkey is behind all of these deaths, but knowing they can't destroy it so easily, they decide to contain it. They bind it tightly in its box and hurled it into an abandoned well, praying to leave the nightmare behind once and for all. The scene then cuts to 25 years later, where Aunt Ida is sleeping peacefully in bed. Right when when she is startled awake by strange noises, she grabs the blicky to investigate and discovers nothing suspicious downstairs. But as she returns upstairs, the stairs collapse, which led to several hooks sinking into her face, causing excruciating pain. So Ida painfully pulls out the hooks. She then cleans her wounds with